Hello everyone and welcome back to RiceFix, and today in this video we are going to tear down this entire Honda Activa because I want to do a paint job on it. So let's get started. So the first thing what you'll have to do is remove all the switches. So take a screwdriver like this and push it inside and take out all the switches. Once you take out one switch, you will have to unplug it by pressing the two clips on the side. So here comes out my first switch, which is headlight up down switch. So the next switch which I am taking out is the side light switch. You'll have to use the same process. Just push the screwdriver inside and push the switch out and then unplug it. So here comes out my side light switch. Then I will take out the horn switch. It's the same procedure. Just push the screwdriver inside and pry the switch out. And here comes out my horn switch. Then you will have to go on the other side and you will have to repeat the same thing. You will have to take out those switches using the same process. So here all my switches are out already. So step 1 was taking out all the switches. Now we go on to the second step. Take a 12mm spanner and you will have to take out both your rear view mirrors. This right side rear view mirror, you'll have to turn it in a clockwise direction to loosen it. The normal loosening process is anti-clockwise, but this is the opposite. So keep a note on that. It's like you are making it tight in a normal way. If you go to make it tight, it will become loose. Always it is written on the mirror if it is a right or a left side mirror. You can check it here. There's a R marking here, which means right side mirror. Now I will take out the mirror from the other side. This you'll have to loosen anti-clockwise, which is the normal removing process, which means you'll have to rotate it anti-clockwise. So once you remove both those mirrors, we will move on to the step 3, which is removing the entire front and back headlight fairing. So to remove this entire fairing, you'll have to remove these two screws which are on top first. So I have taken out one screw already. Now I will go on the other side and remove the other screw. So here comes out my second screw. Then you'll have to come on the back side and remove the 3 screws which are on the back side. And once you remove those 3 screws, you will have to come in front and down, and underneath the headlight there will be a screw here. As you can see here, mine is already broken, but you will definitely have a screw there. That screw you will have to remove, and once you take out that screw, your front headlight fairing will come out easily like this. It's not over yet. You will still have to unplug the headlight connection and the side light connection. So once you unplug all those 3 plugs, your front fairing will be completely separated from the bike. So once you take out that fairing, you'll have to take out the 2 screws which are holding the speedometer, which is connected to the back fairing. So once you take out those 2 screws, your speedometer will be separated from the back fairing. You can keep it like this for the moment. There will be 2 more screws under the handlebar. As you can see here, there is one screw here and one on the other side. So these 2 screws you'll have to take out now. And once you take out all these screws, your back fairing will be completely separated from the bike. Just take it out and keep it in a safe place. So with this we are done with the third step, which is taking out the front and back headlight fairing. Now moving on to the fourth step, which is taking out the battery cover. And to take out the battery cover, there are 2 screws on top here. You'll have to take out these screws from both the sides, and once you take out these 2 screws, you'll have to push the battery cover slightly upwards and pull it out. So with this we complete the fourth step. So we'll move on to the step 5. So step 5 is removing both the side panels, and to take out both the side panels you'll have to take out these 4 bolts first. And once you take out those 4 bolts, on top here you will see 2 screws. You'll have to take those 2 screws out, which are connected with the plate. So keep the plate in the safe place. So here comes out my plate, and I will be also painting this plate. Now you'll have to come on the back side of the panel, and you will have to take out all the screws which are there on the back side. So once you take out all the screws from the back side, you will have to come down to the flooring, and on the side there is one screw here. So once you remove this screw, there will be one more screw behind your front mudguard. So remove both these screws, and once you remove both these screws, your side panel will come out easily like this. Still the process is not over yet. As you can see here, only one side front panel I have taken out at the moment, and as you can see it is rusted from the back side, so I will have to treat it. So by using the same procedure, you will have to take out the panel from the other side as well. So both these panels are connected with the plate from down as well. As you can see here, this is the plate. So keep this plate in a safe place, because while putting the panels back you will need this plate. So with this we finish the step 5, and as you can see this side panel is slightly in a better condition. So I will move on to step 6, which is removing the entire back body. So for that you will have to open the seat first. So put the key inside and open the seat, and once you open the seat, take a 10mm socket, and you will have to take out these 2 bolts. Once you take out one bolt, you will find a clip like thing. Just keep it in a safe place, and once you take out both the bolts, your seat will come out easily like this. This seat is fixed on to these 2 plates. So here I have put one plate, and there is one more plate which is on top like this, and on both of these plates 2 bolts go there. So keep both these plates in a safe place. So once you take out the entire seat, your full back body, you'll have to lift it like this, and you'll have to push it slightly backwards and pull it up, and then balance the body like this in front. What has happened here is your back body has come out from the clips on which it rests, but before you can completely take it out, you'll have to unplug some wires and lock cable. So you will have to come through the fuel tank hole here, and as you can see, the lock cable is connected here. You'll have to release the seat lock cable from here, and once you take out that cable, you'll have to release some plugs. So you'll have to come down here, and as you can see, these are the 3 wires which are coming from the back body. You will have to release these 3 plugs. So here I released one plug. So once you release that plug, you'll have to take out the entire wire and plug out from the zip lock so that you can take out the entire body. So here I unplugged the second plug. This also you'll have to take out from the zip lock, and here I have unplugged the third plug. This also you'll have to take out from the zip lock. So once you take out all these 3 plugs, your entire back body will be separated from the bike. But it is still not over yet. I'm going to take out the wire assembly and the lock and the guard as well. So put a cloth on the floor and keep your back body upside down on the cloth, and then take a 14mm socket, and you will notice that there is a plate here on the back side which has 2 bolts. You'll have to take out those 2 bolts first. So once you take out these 2 bolts, this plate will come out easily like this, and as you can see, these are the bolts which were holding the plate. And once you take out those 2 bolts, take a 10mm socket and take out these 2 nuts which are holding the guard. And once you take out both these nuts, your back guard will come out easily like this. And once you take out this guard, rotate the back body, make the back body upright, and take out the underseat storage. As you can see here comes out my underseat storage. Then you'll have to make the body upside down again, and you'll have to take out all the screws which you can see here. First I will take out my side light screws. Once you take out these 3 screws, your side light will come out. Then when I take out these 3 screws, my tail light will come out like this easily. Then I will take out the 3 screws which is holding my other side light. So once I take out these 3 screws, my other side light will also come out. Then you'll have to take out these 2 screws which is holding this plastic panel. So here comes out my plastic cover. Now we'll have to separate this entire wire harness from the back body. Now this wire harness will be inside of a bending clips. So open the bending clips and take out the wire harness. Now I will separate the lock assembly from the back body. For that you'll have to take out this screw first. And once you take out this screw, this cover will come out like this. And then this lock assembly has a clip lock. You'll have to pull the clip lock out like this, as you can see. And once you remove the clip lock, you'll have to take out the cable by pulling it out like this, like how you take out the brake cable. And once you take out the cable, your back cover will come out like this, and the lock will have to push out from the other side. And with this we complete the step 6, which is taking out the back body from the bike completely and dismantling it. And here our back body is now ready for paint preparation. So I will move on to the step 7 now, and step 7 is removing the flooring. So to remove the flooring, first you'll have to take out the rubber mat, and under the rubber mat there will be 4 bolts. You'll have to take out these 4 bolts. These 2 bolts will be of 10mm socket and 2 bolts will be of 12mm socket. And once you take out these 4 bolts, you will have to come down below the flooring on the side of the side stand, and you will see a bolt there which is a 12mm socket bolt. You'll have to take that out. Then go on the other side and remove the bolt from other side as well. Once you take out both these bolts, your flooring will come out easily like this. So here comes out my flooring, and as you can see there is rust under my flooring which I will have to treat. We are not done yet with the flooring. We'll have to remove the footrest from the flooring, and as you can see both the footrests are rusted. So both these footrests I will replace with a new one. So to take that out, you'll have to take this nut and bolt out. So both this nut and bolt rotate together, so you'll have to put a spanner like this on one side and take a 10mm socket and rotate the bolt from the other side. And once you take out the bolt, your footrest will come out easily like this. You will have to use the same procedure and take out the footrest from the other side as well. And with this we finish step 7. And now we'll move on to step 8. And step 8 is removing the rear footrest. So for that you'll have to take a 12mm socket, and there will be 2 bolts holding this footrest. We'll have to take out these 2 bolts. These bolts will be very tight. That's why I'm using a long pipe here. Once they become loose, you can take them out very easily. Just remember that there are nuts behind the bolts which will fall down after you remove the bolt. So make sure that you take out the nut and keep it in the safe place, because while putting it back you will need it. So as you can see here, I have saved both the nut bolts, and once you take out both this nut bolt, your footrest will come out easily like this. So with this we complete our step 8, and we move on to step 9. And step 9 is removing the back panel. And to remove the back panel, first we'll have to watch the step 5, because I have taken out all the screws of this back panel in step 5. So once you take out all those screws, there will be one bolt here. You'll have to take this bolt out, and once you take out this bolt, you will have to separate the choke cable from this panel. So for that underneath the panel there will be a plastic nut. Just rotate the nut and take it out, but still the choke cable will not come out. You will have to leave the choke cable connection near the carburetor. So take out the panel like this and keep it on the side, and once you do that you will see that the choke cable is still connected. So now I will leave the connection from the carburetor. As you can see here, it is connected to the carburetor. So in the similar way how you release the brake cable, you will have to take out the choke cable from the carburetor. So once you release the cable, still the cable will not come out because there is a holder which is holding the cable. So take a screwdriver and loosen the holder, and once you loosen it, the cable will come out. So once the cable is out, you'll have to take out the entire cable from the plastic panel. So with this I separate the choke cable from the plastic panel, and with this I complete my step 9, which is removing the back panel from the bike. So now I will move on to step 10, and step 10 is taking out the silencer. So as you can see here, for the silencer there is one bolt here and there is one bolt below here. So both these bolts you'll have to loosen first. You should not remove them completely out at the moment. You'll have to just loosen them. And once you loosen both these bolts, there will be heat protection plate on the silencer. That plate you'll have to take out. Take a 10 mm socket and take out both these bolts, and as you can see both the bolts I have taken out already, and here comes out my heat protection plate. Then there will be a plate on the silencer as well. That plate also you'll have to take out in a similar manner, and here comes out my plate which was on the silencer. So once you take out both these plates, you'll have to come under the engine block where your silencer is connected, and there you'll have to take out these two nuts. So take a 10 mm socket and take out these two nuts. So here comes out my one nut and here comes out my second nut. And once I take out both these nuts, the bolts which you had loosened, you can take them out completely now, and once you take them out completely, your silencer will come out easily like this. As you can see, my silencer is completely separated from the bike now, and with this we complete step 10 and we move on to step 11. In step 11 is taking out both the tires. So first I will take out the front tire. So for the front tire there will be plastic covers like this. Take a screwdriver and remove the plastic cover screw and take out the plastic cover. Then take a 14 mm socket or put it on one side, and on the other side take a 19 mm socket, because if you try to loosen this axle bolt on one side, it will rotate on both the sides. So you'll have to take two spanners like this and loosen the axle bolt. Now once you loosen that, since your brakes are still connected, press the brake and loosen all these four nuts. Don't take them out completely. You'll have to just loosen them. Once you loosen them, you can remove the brake cable now. So take out the brake cable nut, and once you take out that nut, you can pull out the brake cable on this side like this and separate it completely from the tire. And once you take that out, you'll have to release the speedometer cable connection. So take this screw out, and when you pull the speedometer cable, it will come out easily like this. Then you can take out the axle nut and bang on the axle bolt. Take a screwdriver and bang like this on one side, and the axle bolt will come out on the other side like this. So once you take out the axle bolt, your tire will come out easily like this. So take out the tire, and if you have a spare tire, you can keep it under the pivot arms like this. Now I will remove the back tire. So to remove the back tire, you need a 24 mm socket. Press the brake and loosen this main nut. If you go to remove this out later, you won't be able to remove it, because you need to press the brake and somebody should sit on the bike so that the entire bike will not move, because this nut is very tight. Once you loosen this nut, it can come out very easily. So once you loosen this nut, you can loosen the remaining four nuts, and then you'll have to come on the other side and take a 14 mm socket and take out the brake cable nut and separate the brake cable from the tire. Then you'll have to loosen the main nut, and then check the tire and take it out. There will be a visor also, just keep it in a safe place. And once you take out the tire, the nuts which you had already loosened, those you can take out now. And here now the hub is separated from the wheel. So with this we finish step 11, and now we move on to step 12. In step 12 is removing the entire front fork and front mud guard out from the bike. So to take that out completely, you'll have to unplug your speedometer and keep the speedometer in a safe place. Then there will be a nut and bolt here. You'll have to take out this nut and bolt, and once you take that out, take a hammer and bang on the handlebars like this from downside, and the handlebars will come out like this easily. And then you'll have to come near your fork nut, and you'll have to loosen the top fork nut with a screwdriver and a hammer. Once the fork nut is loose, you can take it out completely. And once you take out the top fork nut out, you'll have to remove the bottom fork nut out as well. And once you do that, you will see that there are steel balls there. Take a magnet and take out all the steel balls, otherwise they will fall down and you'll have to search for them. Take them out and keep them in a safe place. And once you take out all these steel balls, you will have to come on the down part of the fork, and in the down bearing part there will be steel balls as well. Take those steel balls out using the same procedure with a magnet. And once you take out all the steel balls, the tire which you had put under the pivot arms, that you can take out now, and you can slide the fork out of the bike now, and your fork will come out easily like this and will be separated from the bike. Now the bike is on stand, but it is not stable, that's why I'm holding it. Now we'll have to put this tire under the back hub so that this chassis assembly becomes stable. There will be some steel balls stuck on top here. Take them out as well. As you can see, these are some of the steel balls. Then we'll have to take a 10 mm socket, and there will be 2 bolts for the mudguard on top here. We'll have to take out these 2 bolts, and once you take out these 2 bolts, there will be 2 bolts from inside. As you can see, the bolt is here. You'll have to take out this bolt. Once you take out this bolt, you'll have to turn the mudguard and take out the bolt from the other side as well. And once you take out all these 4 bolts, your mudguard will slide out from the fork easily like this. So here comes out my mudguard, and as you can see the state of my mudguard, it has some paint bonding issues, it has rusting issues as well, and as you can see somebody has built a house here. So I will be painting this mudguard now. So I will move forward near my fork, and on the fork I will be removing these 2 bolts now, after which both these shock absorbers will come out. So take a 12 mm socket and take out these 2 bolts. So here comes out my 1 bolt, and here comes out my second bolt. So once I took out both these bolts, both my shock absorbers will slide out easily like this. As you can see here, both my shock absorbers are out. Now I will take out both the pivot arms. So to take out this pivot arms, you will need a 14 mm spanner, and hold the nut on one side and loosen the nut on one side. Once you remove the nut, bang the bolt from one side and take it out completely. So once you take that out, here comes out my 1 pivot arm. By using the same procedure, you will have to take out the other pivot arm as well. And here comes out my other pivot arm. So with this I complete step 12, and I will move on to step 13. And step 13 is removing the clutch cover. So this clutch cover will have 7 bolts. So take a 8 mm T-spanner and take out all these 7 bolts. And once you take out all these 7 bolts, the cover will come out easily like this, but it will still have a one more connection. So loosen the metal ring and put it on one side, and then pull the rubber connection, and with that your clutch cover casing will be completely separated from the bike. It is still not over. I will separate the kick as well. So to separate the kick, take a 10 mm socket and loosen this bolt and take out this nut. And once you take out this nut, you'll have to take out the bolt also. So take a 10 mm socket and rotate the bolt on the other side and take that out as well. And once you take that nut bolt out, you'll have to take a screwdriver and slightly bang it and take the kick out. So here comes out my kick. So with this I finish today's video. So if you find this video useful, then share it as much as possible, and do remember to subscribe my channel. Till then, this is Raisen Fernandez signing out. Until we meet again.